By Sandra Ingerman. We are living in a time where life is moving at such a fast pace we often forget what is important to us, and we set our own personal priorities aside as we try to keep pace. I was with a friend who was sharing about a lecture he listened to where the speaker said the only way people can move more quickly is if we become part human and part computer. What an interesting thought. In truth, the key is for all of us to move more slowly and start to set our pace that reflects back to us a state of health and balance. In this way we move back into the flow of life where our path leads us to next steps of healing and evolution in a balanced way instead of feeling like we are caught in the tornado of life in the modern world. As I engage in interviews to let people know about my new book, The Book of Ceremony, I find myself having a difficult time finding the words to talk about the power of ceremony. What I realized is that we cannot rationally even imagine the power of performing ceremonies. For the work is so body-centered instead of being a linear process. Shamanic cultures mark time differently than we do. We are so focused on clocks and calendars while people in indigenous cultures watch the changes of light, phases of the moon, constellations in the sky, and of course the change in seasons. They have a more organic way of watching the changing of time. This is a more body-centered way of living that brings us naturally into the rhythm of the earth. And by doing this we have a different sense of navigating waves of change. In many ways society has created a sense of disconnection to a real sense of time. We live in an illusion of where we are in history and in the evolution of the planet. This artificial way of observing time and life creates more illness, as what we need to do is once again enter the flow of life instead of separating ourselves out from it. The Earth is 4.6 billion years old. The wind was the first living being before the primal sea was even created. And the sea itself is billions of years old. And think about the age of the sun, the moon, and the constellations. The practice of shamanism dates back 100,000 years. And then we have ancient ancestral traditions. When we perform ceremonial work we actually step into this ancient collective. We step into a new frequency and a new vibration of life where we can travel back and forth between dimensions of the unseen realms, building bridges so healing energies can flood this current collective. The ancient and future ones sing for us. They guide us through their songs. All of nature sings to us, yet we keep questioning our connections. We often feel powerless in the midst of so much turbulence. If you close your eyes and attune your heart and energy to Gaia, who is 4.6 billion years old, into the elements and helping spirits who are behind us, how can we feel powerless? And when we tap into this feeling we must ask ourselves how we approach our ceremonial work. Are we stepping into this amazingly strong and solid spiritual collective with open hearts and doing our best to honor these forces of life? Don't think about this. Feel into this, and you will notice all kinds of doors of new perspectives opening up for you. There is a different collective you can step into if you let go of the distractions of the modern world. But today people want new material without repeating spiritual practices again and again to match the feeling of solidity that comes from deepening our work during these times that are so destabilizing. Always going to the next new practice keeps us riding the surface waves, which just lead to feeling more destabilized. The key is to grow the deepest roots possible into the ancient ways that hold so much healing and wisdom for us. For the earth has witnessed the same challenges we are going through now. Gaia is speaking to us. Learn her language instead of forcing her to learn yours. Perform your ceremonies and step into your power as you join with primal forces and ancestral traditions that were walking right behind you and encouraging you to move forward into a new evolution of consciousness. Feel this truth in your body. People in shamanic cultures know how to dance with the cosmic forces of the universe. The moon is October 24th. When you perform your ceremonial work to radiate your light along with the radiant light of our community, please remember the ancientness of the spiritual forces you are partnering with when you do your work. Is there a new way for you to prepare yourself to step into such a sacred collective and truly be a light that shines within and throughout the earth? Deepen your work and meet and dance with powerful beings beyond your wildest imagination. If you are a new reader of the Transmutation News, please read Creating a Human Web of Light on the homepage. Announcements: I have been having quite the wild, fabulous, amazing ride sharing my new beautiful books. Please do me the favor of reviewing these books on Amazon. In today's world, getting good Amazon reviews lets people know the book is worthwhile reading. If you like the Book of Ceremony and the Hidden Worlds, please help me to get the word out. The Book of Ceremony, Shamanic Wisdom for Invoking the Sacred into Everyday Life, to order from www.amazon.com, click here. The Hidden Worlds, co-written with Catherine Wood, to order from www.amazon.com, click here. I am delighted to announce that I am teaching a longer immersive program called Shamanic Journeying for Guidance and Healing Part 2, Practices for Divination, Collective Blessing, and Helping Others. The course started on September 25th, but here is still time to register. This soul-enlivening training focuses on taking your shamanic journeying skills to the next level. The course will include 5 live video teaching sessions with me, including lecture, journey, ceremony, and time to share experiences or ask questions in between these live classes. 11 pre-recorded teaching modules will be released on a weekly basis, enabling you to continue with the practices that have been so nourishing. I will also be immersed deeply with our community through a forum where you can continue to share your experiences, ask questions, as well as get support from our remarkable global community. Here's some topics for our upcoming immersion. Performing divination work for another and how to interpret metaphors. You are shown the ethics of performing remote shamanic work for others, retrieving a lost power animal to deal with power loss which can lead to depression, immune deficiency, and chronic bad luck. How to work with children and animals. Soul remembering, retrieving the soul of land, cities, businesses, and so on. Healing with spiritual light, journeying to learn from the future and from the multiverse. Deepening your dreaming work, navigate death and dying with greater clarity and help others transition with grace. Retrieving wisdom from ancient ancestral traditions as well as from descendants in the future, merging with a helping spirit, bridging shamanic ceremonies into your community. Here are just few topics on the energetic issues we will explore. Release deep-seated emotions of guilt, grief, and betrayal. Create the right structure and intention for collective healing work safely. Work on healing and blessing collective fields. Receive higher guidance for people directly involved in community challenges to better navigate the outer level of challenges. Utilize self-protection methods for yourself and for the protection of others. Project strength onto people who are going through difficult times instead of projecting weakness onto them. I will teach 5 new live sessions to augment the material. Each session will include a short lecture, a journey, ceremony, and time for some sharing and answer questions. And there will be some beautiful bonus programs offered as a gift to people who sign up. I am once again excited to have another opportunity to work deeply in community with others. The fabric of reality keeps dissolving, and working with groups of people together for personal support and to work together in service to all of life is simply what I yearn to do. To register for this course, click on https://shiftnetwork.is/refer.com/go/sjgh2c/Ingerman/copyright 2018 Sandra Ingerman. All rights reserved. Let's block ads. Why?